8. Time to shake things up. Have a shake. My name's Chris Parrish. I just want to say welcome everyone to this episode. It's going to be a fun little episode. We're going to have a little bit of fun and maybe get away from just talking about the state of WWE, state of professional wrestling. We're going to actually talk about things we would like to see different in WWE. But first things first, we want to just say welcome everyone to the stream, but also thank you to our sponsors. That's right, I now can plural that word because, yes, Beercade, who is our beautiful local sponsor here in Edmonton, Alberta. And all you have to do is go to 105 482nd. I have to go there and check out all of their great arcade games, amazing menu, and amazing atmosphere. They're there free for local WWE, well, not just local, but for all WWE paper or PLEs, AEW pay-per-views, as well as that Ronda Rousey Gina Carano fight last night. That's right. They also play that. They also have so much going on that you want to check out everything they have. They always have deals. They always have events. They always have trivia nights. So make sure you're going and checking out Beercade, YEG. All the information is down in that description. Also, welcome to the party, Dubby. That's right, Dubby is now a proud sponsor of the Chris Parrish podcast. All you have to do is go to dubby.gg. Use that promo code Parrish10. I made it easy. It's just Parrish, PERISH 10. You get 10% off on your order. I also want to give a big shout out to turnbucklestudios.org and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program, because with them, we are powering to change our lives and hopefully can influence yours. We will get more into the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program later, but so happy to have that a part of the Chris Parrish podcast. Now, time to shake it up. What do you guys think about the state of WWE? Now, I think for the most part, it's pretty dang good. Why? Because it's making money. It's hotter than it's been in quite some time. And yes, is it perfect? No. I'll be the first one to agree. And I'm coming to you as one of the biggest supporters of that company. They don't always get it right, but they don't always get it wrong either. And I know that there are little things like that we can argue about, whether it's match times on PLEs, whether it's situations, or why aren't you doing this with that person? I understand it. But when I look at the grand shape of everything, I look at it in, we get 2 hours, 2.5 hours on Mondays. We get 3 hours, soon to be 2 hours on Fridays. We have AAA. We then get Saturday night main events. We got PLEs. Some of them are 2 nights. There's just a lot to go around. And let's not forget whatever they put on their social medias and this, the main events and all that stuff. There's a lot to go around. Not to mention, it's on Netflix now. If you're international, you don't have to pay for many. You just don't have to pay for cable. You can still watch it with your Netflix subscription. If you're in the States, fortunately, you're kind of getting it from a whole different amount of angles, because you got to pay for this, you got to pay for that. It's not fun, but I'm sure in due time they'll make it easier. We got Don Lewis coming in from Facebook saying, I'm enjoying what I'm watching from Western or from WWE. I don't know what you were saying there, dude. There's a lot of grammatical errors there. But Boar's Nest Bubba Dude coming in saying, yeah, I'm enjoying WWE right now. Now, where I kind of want to go is I want to have fun. I want to do a little bit of a rewind. I want to go back because I did a little prediction video of who I was going to have as my Royal Rumble, WrestleMania winners, King, Queen of the Ring, all that good stuff. Now, some of them I was well off. Some of them I was pretty spot on. But now that we're almost 5 months into the year, we're hitting that halfway point. As Bon Jovi would say, we're halfway there. Tell me there's not a collaboration with Cody Rhodes on that. Because we all know the big whoa was right after that. And since we got the inclusion of the John Cena Classic, I thought what a great way to kind of double up and include that. Now, what I know of the John Cena Classic so far is that we're going to have a night where it's people from today versus the people of tomorrow, which means the current Raw and SmackDown competitors will go up against, NXT, maybe TNA, maybe even AAA, maybe even Evolve. Like, it's basically Raw and SmackDown versus non-Raw and SmackDown. That's what I'm taking away from this, because we want to see how the two worlds mesh when put against each other. And then the fans, over a series of matches, will decide who becomes the John Cena Classic champion. Now, John Cena only specified champion. He didn't say champions, which makes me wonder that there's only going to be one champion. Therefore, we're not going to separate or have multiple championships, like one for men, one for women. I think we're going to get just one champion. Now, I can be wrong, and we might get more clarification about that. But as of right now, I'm going based on what he said, how he said it, and he said the word champion. Therefore, I'm assuming only one champion. So if the fans are going to vote for said champion, I think we're going to get somebody either really hot shotting it in NXT or TNA, or somebody already kind of making waves on Raw and SmackDown. I think they're going to be very specific in this tournament. Do I think there's going to be like the Oba Femis in this tournament? I actually don't. And the reason why I don't think he's going to be in this little classic tournament stuff or the bracket is because I don't think he needs it. I really don't think Oba Femi needs this to give him anything. I think he is more on his way to achieve stuff on his own merit and just kind of on his own trajectory to where he doesn't need the John Cena Classic. Now, I understand it's a John Cena Classic. It could be really for anyone, and I could be completely off top when I'm saying this. Sure. But at the end of the day, I'm looking at this as people who could benefit the most out of this event. And I'm thinking Oba Femi is more prone to be successful not needing this. So I'm taking the Oba Femi out, because if Oba Femi's in, I think the fans are going all for Oba. So I'm taking people that are already 9,000,000% over with the audience. Like, I'm not going to throw Jey Uso in this. I'm not going to throw Randy Orton in this. Although it could be fun to see a Randy Orton versus Miles Bourne match. I'm going to take a female. And I think there's actually 3 women in this that could very well be sneaky dark horses to win this. I think Lizzie Rain could very well be one of those sneaky black or dark horse winners because of what she's doing in NXT and how she's already just connected with the audience and how she's making waves already. And it's not even been a month yet, and she's already popular. She's already kind of there. We know it's not a perfect finished product with her yet, but we know what we see is going to be a very good one in the future. I think somebody like a Lyra Valkyria could benefit huge from this. Lately, she's been in a tag team with Bayley. I think given an opportunity to do her own thing, just like Bayley's doing in AAA, she's doing something there without Lyra. She was doing those NXT live events without Lyra. I think now Lyra could benefit a lot from just doing her own thing. And when she does, she has a tendency of doing really good. You remember the Queen of the Ring? You remember the women's inaugural Intercontinental Championship tournament? She does pretty good there, and she puts on banger after banger of in-ring matches. So I think those matches are going to get noticed by the fans because I do think the matches are going to be given proper time and we're going to see the right thing being done. A third woman who I think can do very well in a situation like this, and I look at who is not active right now, I think a Jordan Grace could benefit from this, especially when we see Jordan Grace, who is, yes, she's on SmackDown. She hasn't been really fully featured as of late. She's still relatively new to the main roster. And she's very familiar with TNA and even a lot of people in NXT. So I'm looking at Jordan Grace as someone that can make a true dent in this classic. As for the men and who I think could really step out on their own, I look at a JD McDonough. I look at, if I'm going to go with anyone in NXT, I mean, I really like Tony D'Angelo. I really think what he's doing could really benefit from a big time event like this. And then if I'm even going to go outside of any of, like, say, TNA, man, how cool would it be if we saw Leon Slater? We saw Leon Slater on the John Cena edition of Saturday Night's Main Event when he faced Gunther in his last showing. So why not see Leon Slater involved in this as well? So I'm already putting out 3 people, men, women, so 6 in total, of who I think could really, truly benefit from a John Cena Classic. And I think I'm going to go with Lyra Valkyria as my prediction to be the very first John Cena Classic winner. She was the inaugural Intercontinental Champion. So why not give her another first and be the first John Cena Classic Champion? What I would do to make this championship meaningful, I would 100% invoke a winner of this classic is guaranteed a championship match of their choosing within the duration of the next year. And because I think the John Cena Classic could very well be the end of December, then they would have the entire 2027 to choose what title of their choice they want to pursue. That would make any match from a one-on-one to a triple threat match into a fatal 4-way. That would be that. And I would definitely emphasize championship, because then now we're not forcing a 31st person in the Royal Rumble. We're not adding another person in a King or Queen of the Ring tournament. We're not going to add anybody to any matches there. If, say, a championship is being decided inside maybe Elimination Chamber, then that person would have to go after the match or even before and say, look, if I want, I have to do this before the match. Therefore, if I win, I'm also now defending it in Elimination Chamber. Or you wait till what maybe Edge did when he cashed in the very first Money in the Bank and do it after the Elimination Chamber match. So in a nutshell, that's how I would kind of see the John Cena Classic. Do I really know what's going to happen with this event? Absolutely not. But what I do hope is that we get a lot of interesting matches, a lot of welcomed additions to the picture. And I mean opportunities given to NXT, AAA, even TNA. And it's just not, hey, we get somebody from TNA going up against somebody from SmackDown. Cool. Let's have the person from SmackDown win in 5 minutes. No. If we're doing that, give me a good match. Give me a good showing. Equal opportunity throughout. It doesn't matter if you're Raw, SmackDown, TNA, AAA, whatever. And guess what? I don't even care if there's even more opportunities. If there's free agents out there that have no bearing on any one of those brands. And maybe if they're not even in WWE, opportunity. So if you're somebody like, I'll go with like a Bishop Dyer, aka Baron Corbin. If you're not like fully signed somewhere, then maybe you do a one-time deal. Kind of just like how Nick Nemeth brought back Dolph Ziggler when he faced Solo Sikoa, and when Matt Cardona brought back Zack Ryder to kind of have that one opportunity in that John Cena tournament. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's kind of what I would do. Let me know in the comments what you would do. What do you want out of the John Cena Classic? What would you decide as your first winner? And is there anybody that you would love to see involved? And yeah, you can let me know after we talk about the amazing opportunities that you can achieve through content creation, because all you have to do is go to turnbucklestudios.org/join. That's right. If you ever wanted your introduction, not only to content creation, but also to the Turnbuckle affiliation program, then hitting the join button on that website is the place to be. It's the thing to do. It's actually the right way to tap in. So if you want a little bit of a video advertisement, check this out, and then we'll get back to our discussion.
A Turnbuckle affiliation program is looking for more people. If you have passion level for pro wrestling, sports, video games, or something else, then Turnbuckle Studios is the place to be. If you have ever wanted to pursue content creation and want to join our team, then we would love to have you. Check out turnbucklestudios.org or contact us by email today, because your future is now, and we want you to tap in.
Once again, that link is turnbucklestudios.org/join. Or if you just go to the website, you hit the join button. It takes you to a brief little resume type looking gimmick. We'll just say that for the sake of any better words. And you just fill it out. We'll get back to you. We'll have a conversation. We'll see what we want to do. We'll see what you want to do. And then we'll come together. We'll figure something out. And we'll go forward from there. Also want to let everybody know that this show is being broadcast on multiple platforms, whether it's Facebook, Twitch, Kick, YouTube, or even Facebook. You can go and help the show, and all you have to do is hit a like, a follow, a subscribe. It's not that much work. It's just a simple click of the button, and all you have to do is just there. If you're on YouTube and you want to just find out more opportunities of when Chris Parrish podcast goes live on air, or even if you're on the Turnbuckle Studios platform, you want to know more about their products and more about their shows, all you want to do is hit that notification bell button, because that will alert you every time that channel is going live. So it's very key, very important. So please make sure you're doing that. We got CBRS Entertainment coming in and tipping the cowboy hat, going, howdy, Mr. Parrish. Hello, how are we doing? We just talked a little bit about the John Cena Classic, and now I'm going to take my attention over to, now that we're 5 months in the year, how I see the Money in the Bank going. Now, I think it's going to be a very fun event this year. I do think Money in the Bank should no longer be its own standalone PLE. I would love to see this either back at WrestleMania or even at SummerSlam. I think either one would be fine, but I don't like these match PLEs. I'm just done with them. That means no more Hell in a Cell PLEs, no more even Elimination Chamber PLEs. Borsnet on the Twitch side said, put it at SummerSlam. I really don't mind that. And here's the thing. I actually don't mind if we backload the year with stuff, because we get so much stuff going at the front end with the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, and then kind of the lull hangover that you do have after WrestleMania, and then you kind of start going again, especially with King and Queen of the Ring kind of right there in the summer. It's kind of nice. So backload that year a little bit. Yeah, why not? It really gives and keeps that attention going all the way through, which I do like. I think the Money in the Bank is going to be a very unpredictable show this year, though. It'll be very intriguing to just how we get to what competitors are in the matches. But I'm going to start again with the women here, because there is so many that you can say, all right, at some point, we're going to give you the opportunity. I can look at somebody like a Roxanne Perez and be like, what more defines a future world champion more than Roxanne Perez? I could even go to somebody like who I mentioned earlier, Lyra Valkyria. Okay, we're there. You can go to somebody established like an Alexa Bliss. You can even go to somebody newer like a Blake Monroe. And I am going to go with someone who just recently hit the SmackDown scene, making big waves. I'm going to go with JC Jane. Borsness is coming in with Sol Ruka. And the only reason why I wouldn't say that yet is because I would love to see her shine over that Intercontinental Championship and be brought up the right way. The slower way, but yes, the way of like, hey, when she does get it, you know she's earned it. She put in that time. The one thing I love about Sol Ruka is that she shows vulnerability very well, and you feel it, you get it, and I love that about her, because she is a definite future world champion. That is there, but I am going to strike when the iron's hot. I think that is the most important thing WWE can do this year, and that is understand with all the departures, whether it's through decisions by the company or through retirement, understanding that you have something right now. So say like a Trick Williams, for example, you got to do something with that guy. And they did. They gave him the U.S. championship, and now he's off and running. They didn't fight the babyface kind of sway. They went with it. And guess what? Organic. And it just worked. But if I go with JC Jane, somebody that has hit the scene running as Fatal Influence has hit SmackDown, She doesn't need to be thrown into a championship match right away, but Fatal Influence can continue this dominance that they're on. They could let and almost focus on the tag titles just a little bit. And trust me, I'll get to the tag titles later. But then when she just buys her time and cashes it in, one, it fits the character to a T. It fits the group to a T. But also, this could be a cash-in where it transitions that women's division. And I think that is a very key thing, because if you were to cash in on, say, a Rhea Ripley, we know now what the big feud is going to be afterwards. We're going to go back to that. But say JC Jane does what like a Naomi did and cash it in on like a match ongoing. Oh, now you've just sprinkled in JC Jane into a situation that was already ongoing, and now you finish that as a multi-women matchup, and then you still have your individual ones, and it allows JC Jane to not only carry the championship with heat, but also carry the championship and then really establish herself with multiple right now feuds that make sense. As for the King of the Ring, or sorry, the men's Money in the Bank, my bad, I jumped the gun. We talk about hitting the floor right now, and that's exactly what I'm doing. Jacob Fatu. We all know what he's doing. We all know the trajectory of him. But what if, just what if, all signs point to Jacob Fatu and his attitude of late putting him further away from the championship? Although his eyes are set there, the destruction that he creates on the pathway end up pushing him away, only for the opportunity for him to maybe take out somebody who's qualified. He gets put in that Money in the Bank. He's the worst case scenario to win it, but the people are totally behind it. Now I'm worried, because what's more worrisome over a Samoan werewolf with unpredictability in his game, who, by the way, just seems to be absolutely brutalizing Roman Reigns week after week after week. How about give him the opportunity where he doesn't have to earn a championship shot? He can take it whenever he wants. I think that is more dangerous and more unpredictable than you can imagine. So I'm here for the chaos. I'm here for Jacob Fatu winning Money in the Bank and then running a roughshod on Monday Night Raw for the rest of 2026. So that's what I have for Money in the Bank. I'm going to go towards another ad. Let me know afterwards what you, the viewer, thinks WWE is going to do at Money in the Bank. We're going to focus in on our shop at turnbucklestudios.org/shop. There is so much you can do. You can pick up any type of product, whether it's t-shirt, pillow, hoodie, hat, iPhone cover, phone cover. It could be an Android too, any phone. You can just get whatever you want, slap our logo on. You can get a Turnbuckle Studios logo. You can get the Chris Parrish Podcast logo. And if by chance you do support the Chris Parrish Podcast and want to pick yourself up anything with that logo on it, not only will I give you a free shout out on a future episode, but maybe, just maybe, I'll make sure that if you send me a photo of you, say, wearing a t-shirt, I'll make sure that with your permission, your photo gets added in onto a future promo package for our shop. So yeah, let me know what you think. And yeah, by chance, if you are getting anything with the Chris Parrish logo on, make sure you send me that picture. So here you go. Check it out.
The Turnbuckle Studios store is open for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the merch and represent the best from the shows you watch on a weekly basis. Multiple styles to choose from with over 10 products available. Don't get left out and pick up all your favorites today. Find us at turnbucklestudios.org.
So that right there, that's only a taste of what you can get. The website, powered by Redbubble, but located at turnbucklestudios.org. All you have to do is hit that shop button, and all you have to do is go /shop after org. Either one gets you right to it. You can select who and what kind of brand you want to go to, whether it's Turnbuckle Studios, the TAP, Chris Parrish Podcast, all the other shows. There's just so many. We have a lot of shows. We'll play them later. But all you have to do is go there, have fun, browse. It's fun. And by the way, they're comfortable. I got a hoodie of one of my of the old logo. Got some shirts. They're comfortable materials, people. So yeah, you don't have to worry about that. Now we're gonna talk King and Queen of the Ring. This one, I think, is more wide open than even the Money in the Bank. I think these are going to be very specific because, once again, let's remember, the winners of the King and Queen of the Ring get a guaranteed title shot at SummerSlam. Which, by the way, thank you for bringing that back. It just makes this tournament matter once again. It gives a purpose, and it's just not a gimmick. And yes, once again, I'm going to start off with the women here because I think this is going to be something to really take notice. By this time, and we're just a few months away, we're not even that far off from King and Queen of the Ring. I love this tournament for the sole reason it brings people back. So even if, say, a person hasn't been on screen or hasn't been on TV as of late, they can quickly make themselves in this tournament. I think you can have a lot of fun by putting, say, Jade Cargill against a Charlotte Flair in an opening round bracket match. And I love it. In fact, this is what I'm proposing now for the King and Queen of the Ring. I would love to see each brand Raw and SmackDown have 8 people in, and you just take care of your bracket, whether it's on Raw, so until you have one last person. SmackDown can do the same, and on the show, boom, you do your final. Because I think we all know now they're not going to run the whole tournament in a standalone PLE anymore. They're going in a different direction. So at the very least, do that. Or really specify this a little bit more and just give us the semifinals and finals in one night. It's 3 matches. You can start your night off with really the semi, boom. That's 4 matches right there. Boom. Put in one. Other one, say, a championship match somewhere else. And then you do your finals. Why not? But I get it too. It's a lot of matches. And the one thing we did know when we did have the King of the Ring as a standalone show, not a lot of those matches got time. And we all know how upset the internet gets if these guys or girls don't get proper in-ring time. So maybe, just maybe, we can stay towards the finals. But I really don't hate the Raw and SmackDown kind of do their own thing first. It does create a little bit different. I mean, let's face it, all major sports do it. You got the Western Conference always plays the Eastern Conference in the final. You always have the American League take on the National League and the NBA and in MLB championships, like they do the same thing in the NBA and in the NFL, and so why not? But nonetheless, I'm picking Jordynne Grace to be my Queen of the Ring. And the reason why I think we all believe that this is somebody that should be in a title picture. And she is a beast, for the sake of a better word. And I would love to see it if in the final of this Queen of the Ring, we see Jordynne Grace and maybe we do get somebody of like stature, like say a Becky Lynch. And the reason why I'm putting Becky Lynch in this spot is simple. In the last while, we only have seen Paul Heyman associate himself with one woman, and that is Becky Lynch, through the association of her being married to Seth Rollins when they were a part of the Vision. All right. We know that after Seth Rollins was taken out of the Vision, Becky Lynch had choice words for Paul Heyman. Very underrated backstage segment, by the way. So what better way to introduce your first Paul Heyman girl but have Paul Heyman come out and be that distraction to Becky Lynch, also getting in the head of Seth Rollins and playing that mental game. And this is not only how Jordynne Grace becomes a Paul Heyman girl, but now Jordynne Grace moves over to Raw, joins the Vision, and is now a member. And then by SummerSlam, you can crown Jordynne Grace as your champion. And now we're off and running with a big female star in not only the Vision, but we've created one in Jordynne Grace. How about that as a way to go from not being on the show to being one of the major points in the female division? And all you have to do is bet your horses on Jordynne Grace. And she'll make it happen. And plus, you're off and running. You can do Jordynne Grace versus Becky Lynch. Move Becky into the babyface role. You can have Becky lose the Intercontinental title to Sol Ruca, and they could come together kind of as a respect kind of thing. So we're already there. Then you add Paul Heyman kind of, helping out Jordynne Grace in that situation. Boom. With the added Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins kind of thing, boom, you're off and running already. And Seth Rollins doesn't have to worry about Becky Lynch not trusting her. Of all people, she will. And then as for the men, I have somebody we don't expect, but somebody that makes a lot of sense. Because what does REY mean when you say it in Spanish and translate it to English? That's right. King. Rey Mysterio means the King of Mystery. So if you want to be the best Mysterio of all time, you need to become king. You need to dethrone your king and take the crown. And that's what Dominic Mysterio needs to do to become the greatest Mysterio of all time. I have Dominic Mysterio winning the 2026 Men's King of the Ring. Because now he can say he's not only the greatest Mysterio of all time, but he's the king of the Mysterios. And this only then goes more into a feud with his dad, possibly being that final feud and being the one that retires his father, taking over the legacy of the Mysterio name. But also now you're a AAA champion, you're an Intercontinental champion, now you're a King of the Ring, you've been tag team champion. Dominic Mysterio is just a little bit more set in his way of becoming a world champion. Plus, having Dominic Mysterio in the ring with maybe, say, a Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam, I don't know if that would be such a bad thing. So I have Dominic Mysterio, I have Jordan Grace as my now favorites in my eyes. My predictions to be your king and queen of the ring. Let me know what you have. I also want to let everybody know that we do have an amazing amount of weekly content here on Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program. I mentioned it earlier. You can support any one of these if you go to our shop. But in order to understand what you have in terms of options and you're not there yet, well, I'll help you out. Here is your weekly calendar that you can see every day at Turnbuckle Studios.
Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program bring you the week of streams. All times are in Eastern Time. Monday night we are on call as the Raw Patrol is on duty at 8 p.m. Tuesday brings you the flagship show, Turnbuckle Talk, at 8:05 p.m. Wednesday we play games with the PlayStation Showcase at 8 p.m. Thursdays we roam the jungle with the Boar's Nest at 9 p.m. Friday we invite you to come for a ride with the SmackDown Security Detail at 8 p.m. The weekend brings you Saturday Night Gaming at 8 p.m. On Sunday, be sure to catch the Chris Parrish podcast at 12:15 p.m. And later in the day, the Locker Room presents Wrestling Recap Delivers at 7 p.m. Always be aware that weekend shows can vary in times, as the PLE Patrol and other watch party streams are always a must-see. Be part of the shows and join the chat every day and watch all of the latest episodes on turnbucklestudios.org/shows. And please do not forget to drop a like, follow, and to subscribe to all of our channels, and when the time is right, all you have to do is tap in.
Yes. Turnbucklestudios.org. All you have to do is either hit /shows or hit the shows button on that website, and you go straight to finding the easy way of just clicking to the latest episodic show of that one, and you're off to the races. Not only will you find out what everything is, but you also can check out all the shows on just a click of the mouse, click of a button. We make it easy. This has been fun. We have gone through, kind of recorrected maybe our predictions for the events this year. But you can't just say time to shake it up and just give new predictions. I'm aware of that. Although I kind of had areas of shaking it up with those winners. But I also have some ideas that I would install in the WWE. Now, here's the big one. I talked about the tag team titles earlier. More or less, I talked about the women's tag team titles earlier. And I think right now the women's tag team championships are absolutely being done correctly. Everywhere you look at them, whether it's even Raw, SmackDown, you can almost make an argument that every woman needs an additional partner, whether it's to fight through multiple groups that are on that show or just a way of surviving. And then, since there's multiple of them, you automatically go to the tag team format and the tag team titles. They are busier than ever right now with the likes of your champions, Brie Bella and Paige. They just defended the tag titles against Kiana James and Julia on SmackDown. They're then going up on Raw against the Judgment Day and Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. And then whoever wins is most likely going up against Nia Jax and Lash Legend. Now that is a huge swing to go through. And what a way if Brie Bella and Paige managed to go through that all. They have just proven themselves to be credible and great tag team champions. Not to mention, they've already had matches with Alexa Bliss and Charlotte. You still know that they're going to have a match with Fatal Influence at some point. We still have yet to talk about Bayley and Lyra challenging for those titles. I mean, and then if by chance Tiffany Stratton and Chelsea Green do have a partnership, there's that option as well. So it's safe to say the women's tag titles are being done correctly. We can't say the same about the men's titles. And I think I found out the reason why. Whether it's through NXT, Raw, or SmackDown, there's only one set of tag titles for the women. And when you have the opportunity to kind of branch out and really do something there, I think that is what's making the women's tag titles great. Of course, you also add the fact that you have activity and storylines, but it's a lot easier to do that when there's just one set. So I bring this option out. Drop a set of the men's tag team titles and make these titles equal to the way the women's titles are. They go to Raw and SmackDown. They can go to NXT. And now we're off to the races of having more activity, more feuds. So yeah, if you have your tag champions, they not only can go to Raw and SmackDown and NXT, but now you're feuding with different people. Say R-Truth and Damian Priest are these champions. They can go to Raw, and they can face whoever. They can go to NXT, face whoever. Why not have people come from AAA? Take them to AAA, because that's another brand inside the WWE banner. That's allowed too. Have these champions go everywhere. And who's to say with the working relationship between NXT and TNA, maybe you get the knockout tag titles over on NXT while the women's tag titles are there. You can have some fun there. You can have the TNA tag team champions come to TNA or come to NXT while the men's tag champions are there. You can have something fun there. So what I'm just saying is have some fun with a lot of these things. And I think dropping one set of the men's tag titles is the right thing. Borisness is coming in saying drop the Raw titles. Yeah, we know. You like the SmackDown titles better in terms of aesthetics. We understand it. I don't disagree. I also think we should just do the right thing and make the Evolution PLE either yearly or every second year. And I think this is the right thing to do. And I think this just makes all the sense in the world. And with that being said, I think it's time to do the same thing with War Games at Survivor Series. I don't dislike the idea of War Games. In fact, I love it, but it doesn't need to be every year. I would be so happy if the WWE understands the power it has by having two main events now at WrestleMania. You have a men and women's Royal Rumble. You say whoever wins main events at WrestleMania, be honest with yourselves, do the right thing, and say both the winner of the men and women's Royal Rumble main event at night at WrestleMania, and stop doing one of them dirty, especially the women. Stop doing the winner of the women's Royal Rumble dirty and give them a damn main event at WrestleMania every year, because it does not make any sense why the Women's Royal Rumble winner always gets the worst part of the deal. You want to make the Royal Rumble matter again? There you go. Not everybody loves the event, but everybody is tired of the single fact that we're getting men world titles every year as your main event. Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton with that shenanigan did not need to main event night one. You could have had Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vaquer get proper time and a proper position and be the main event of night one. And that is my rant. I stay with it, but stop doing the Women's Royal Rumble dirty. Give them a damn WrestleMania main event. And my last thing that I would do to change and add to the WWE state, if you don't want to do drafts every year, that's fine. But who isn't absolutely confused every time a Raw superstar unexpectedly just comes to SmackDown? So you need to have a little bit of open communication here. You have social media, you have platforms, you have YouTubes, you can do little YouTube shorts, you can do all this stuff to explain why this person can be on the show, but also you can just make trades with each other. And I do not understand. We now see Jacob Fatu on Raw. Why? As great as it is, why? So if he goes to Raw, and then these reports of potentially CM Punk heading to SmackDown, could you just not announce a trade and say, hey, in this groundbreaking trade, Jacob Fatu is being moved to Raw while CM Punk is being moved to SmackDown. And guess what? Now nobody is questioning this at all. Now, I understand that when Rhea Ripley beat Jade Cargill for the women's championship at WrestleMania, that made her a SmackDown competitor. That makes sense. That's right there. We understand if you unlift this Raw only, SmackDown only thing the weeks before maybe WrestleMania and Survivor or SummerSlam and all these cross-branded shows. Sure, I understand that. I can get behind that. But don't do it for every show. Don't do it for every PLE. Just do it for the big ones. And boom, let the chaos come. I'm okay with that. But if you ain't going to take the time to explain why these things are happening, then don't bother having a Raw and a SmackDown brand. It just seems silly. It just looks stupid. At least cover your grounds a little bit better. That's all I ask. You have all the platforms. You have all the tools to do it. Just don't be lazy and just do it, please. We don't need another generation and another era that insults our intelligence. Just saying. And on that note, we come to our close. Let me know what you think. You can email me at parachute@gmail.com if you have any inquiries about this show. If you also want to check out the show, it will be put on Spotify soon, and you will also be able to see it on turnbucklestudios.org. If you want to get a hold of me, obviously my link tree is down there. You can also check me out on turnbucklestudios.org/host. You can find my section, you can click, and boom, it'll take you not only to my show, but also to my link tree. So please go check that out. That is the best way to find me. If you're looking forward to what's on schedule next week, well, I do have something for you. This has been 128. So next week, we'll be doing 129. Safe clashing. That's right. For the first time in a while. Yeah, since WrestleMania Night 2, but for the first time before a one-night PLE, Chris Bear's podcast is actually before Clash in Italy. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But also next week, we'll be covering a lot about Saturday night's main event. That'll be a lot of fun. So come check that out. We're going to predict a lot of the Clash in Italy and talk a lot about Saturday night's main event. So enjoy that. And then, that is what we have on tap next week. Once again, this has been episode 128. Time to shake it up. I just wish everyone that you stay happy, you stay healthy, because at the end of the day, you matter. See you next week, everyone.